allow the children
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo touchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary politico, my ego don't come, this man not the off in mind, my ego don't come, aha. Now you not done here, all these bad politicians, them we call themselves politicians. Where they thief our money, we no want make the common man get waiting suppose get for this country. And I never hear something. Now go hear one, my ego. You go show na paper. My ego diary political. So my people make you shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we laugh, oh, yo.
Hello there, brethren. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun live. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, after reading the caption of the broadcast, you should read the description of the broadcast as well. Then like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them to join us. That Mayegun today, Mayegun is live. And please let me know if you can still very much hear me loud and clear before I get fully into this. It's been how many days now? 30 days. Anyway, we have some catch up to do, as well as the up-to-date kind of like happenings in the contraption since I have been away. So the last time I was here, it was during the Tinubu's visit to the royals in the UK, as well as the deal that they called a deal, which actually is a loan to improve the port infrastructures in Nigeria or in Lagos, that too. And then the part where Tinubu's regime is visit also helped finalize the deportation process of Nigerians who have been stuck at the deportation holding cells in the UK. So his son, Sheyi, was all over the city in London as the money they brought from Nigeria, which obviously became a public knowledge, the money they brought from Nigeria to mobilize the UK Ronukus, indeed, was felt in the city or in the UK, because a lot of Nigerians got paid to assemble and identify with City Boys movement, Sheyi's movement. So I am going to be kind of like going back and forth on these topics. Let us start with the latest one, as the killings in Nigeria continues. I am talking about the terrorist and terrorism attacks in Nigeria under Koolu. On the one hand, you get to listen to some of these failed criminal state governors who have been jumping ship to join Tinubu in APC. Many of them have come out to say, oh, they are joining simply because Tinubu has improved security. Why the reality out there is a total contrast to what they are saying. But to Koolu himself, he believed that he's done so well, even though there is still some little problems of insecurity in Nigeria, not living in reality, living in their own bubble, telling themselves that everything is really fine, except for the little terrorism here and there, killings here and there. But to them, Nigeria is quite making a lot of progress. That is their belief. So Koolu was addressing them just to celebrate this their Ilayah for Ramadan, which is the Eid al-Fitr, the end of Ramadan in the villa. So Koolu said what he probably agreed with Stama, right? What he agreed to with Stama on the issue of security will soon bring about a change in the fight against terror. The Boko Haram have now made their very much foothold known in Kwara State, especially since January this year. Remember? So I'm going to start with the boring part, and this will be after Koolu landed in Lagos from London, and then started hosting the usual, the sycophants, going there to sing his praises. In that same Lagos, Sanwo-Iku, at the gate of the governor point and kill of Lagos, also played host to the rest of the 31 state governors who are now under the aegis or the banner of the APC. All of this in Lagos. Then we might stop by in London to also see those Nigerians who are fooling on themselves in London simply because of a 50-pound invite. So let's start from Lagos, where Koolu finished praying for, I think, Salah was it called? But here, addressing the supposed state governors.
We thank God that we all started together and we end being together. May God Almighty Allah continue to enrich us and put our nation on the right path and be with us. I am very, very surprised at the short notice that this number is extremely impressive. It shows our sincerity, commitment, and the value of friendship and togetherness. I thank every one of you for what we have been doing. And to say this, The next phase of our struggle is staring us in the face. Is the challenge of insecurity in this country. And I'm making all the efforts to ensure it is us collectively that we share the joy and be proud of, victory over tyranny. Insecurity is an enemy of development, progress, and prosperity. That's what insecurity is all about. And I'm glad you are all mindful of the challenge. To me, I can commit myself to further strengthen my contact, the network that is necessary. One of the major discussions in UK is equipment and support. I can report to you, yesterday again, I had a lengthy discussion with Emmanuel Macron. Their collaboration with us for equipment and support, while I'm making effort, frantic effort to contact other nations. If we have to spend our goodwill and line of credit, we have those who are willing to support us with equipment and training. We should just resolve. Why you say it's not time for policy discussion. We have a pyramid that we must work on in the state. I will not single out any state that observe a number of things that they are doing. You are all doing well, but you can do better. Caring for the vulnerable. I know this Middle East crisis will elicit inflation, will affect our purchasing power, the labor union and others will be gearing to ask us to support them because of the effect of the Middle East war and prices at the pumps, resulting in transportation problems and high prices. Even though the chairman had said there's no need for policy discussion, we should rejoice. I'm glad you have something to bite. My condolence.
Àmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀ yìí ó dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tí ọpọlọ rẹ̀ yòrò tàbí ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fi síbi aláṣà àwọn ọpọlọ rẹ̀ bí ọpọlọ ikú. Ó jọ má bẹ́ẹ̀ tọpọlọ rẹ̀ ò tó nǹkan rárá tàbí ètò wà ń bẹ kó má tiẹ̀ wúlò má rárá.
See, I have spent years to try to explain the mess that Boko Haram was creating and then created. as well as the quadruple mess, the shaggy, that Tinubu called renewed hopelessness. The lies and the effort to try to never actually take responsibilities for what they have done to Nigeria. In 2015, I'll keep reminding you, 2015, when the likes of Tinubu and the gang convinced Nigerians then that buying a liter of petroleum for 140 naira was evil. It's like government evil against them. So they fought it, got it down to 97 naira. And they got into power only for them to be gaslighting Nigerians on why it is cheaper to buy a liter of petroleum at 1,200 naira or even 1,500 naira. They are working day and night like overtime, okay, to convince Nigerians, right, that the decision to remove a subsidy, which affected everything else without any real, preparation or what have you, they are working so hard to convince Nigerians that even though they promised them that the reason why they had to remove subsidy was because it was going to run the country into indebtedness, and Nigeria couldn't, or Nigeria wouldn't survive it, and only for the country to have eventually run aground in debt, and that's just the economy. On the insecurity, Tinubu, who told these northeasterners in the northern part of Nigeria during the campaign, I don't have to bore you with that, don't worry. So during their charade in 2023, Tinubu pledged to his Muslim supporters in the northeast, especially, that the issue of Boko Haram, which at the time was practically almost limited to Sambisa and the Chad. Today, you have the Boko Haram present in as far as the north central of the Kwara state of northwest central. Koolu promised them that there will be no single bomb again, but there are many now. We're going to get to that part. The state governors. Back then, they usually said the buck stops on the table of the president, but not with the APC. Somebody else would have to take the blame. So now, Koolu is asking the state governors, the local government, and the rest of them to improvise on how to keep their people safe without telling the entire country that their own security force has become probably overwhelmed by the problems created by the criminal politicians themselves. Kwara State is in the news, where it's been reported again today that the IED planted by the Boko Haram, who have taken over the area, said the IED planted in one of the communities in Kwara State exploded. They have no idea how many of them. Well, they've reported many casualties, which also we have no number at this hour. Their governor was in Lagos yesterday to help and speak on behalf of other APC governors who went there to sing on your mandate to Koolu. So their governor was there to assure Tinubu that his job, is reformed. Security on the blah, somehow warmed him into the heart of Nigerians. And Nigerians can't wait to give him another 4 years. While Kwara bleeds, the hypocrisy, psychophancy, taken to another level, was thriving in Lagos. Here is their governor.
Tinubu, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON. My colleagues, governors of various states, the Chief of Staff to the President, top government functionaries, gentlemen of the press. On behalf of my colleagues, governors, we bring your Excellency season's greeting from the people of our various states. We thank Almighty God for His mercies that saw us through the month of Ramadan, and we pray that He sees us through the Lenten, accept our supplication, and grant us sustainable peace. Your Excellency, we congratulate you on the successful state visit to the United Kingdom and the many successes and investment proposals achieved during the trip. While our nation has always enjoyed good relationship with the United Kingdom, the state visit was the first in 37 years. Yes, sir. This is bold and significant. It speaks to new leadership layers in Nigeria, and we thank you and congratulate you for that, sir. We are confident that the bilateral agreement recently signed and the new approachment on issues of shared interest which will strengthen existing relationship between Nigeria and the United Kingdom will bring a more prosperity to our people. Your Excellency, we thank you for prosecuting the renewed hope agenda in a way that has made Nigerians proud. More than ever before, every Nigerian now has a stake in the nation building. We believe that this will translate to improved security in every part of our country. Together, we must see that breaches of security all over the country comes to an end. On the issue of state police, discussions are ongoing amongst various security organizations led by the National Security Advisor, and the NGF has made its contribution. That document will be taken to the National Assembly to see how we can have a legislative framework for state police. As governors, we commit to renew our collaboration with security forces to defeat terrorism, study and expand infrastructure opportunities, and improve outcomes of lives of our people. Finally, sir, we join Mr. President to call on Nigerians, especially leaders, to commit to virtues of piety, selflessness, compassion, unity, mutual understanding. This is important for collective security and happiness and prosperity.
Nuisance, Lele.
So that we are not, we don't forget that. So he prepared a speech to appreciate that if Tinubu went to the UK, historic, first time the Nigerian leader will be invited to the UK, treated like that in 37 years. Not that it was just on the eve or the eve of where Nigerians were bombed by the same Boko Haram in Borno State. So they glossed over that, and yeah, the tragedy of Borno State of Maiduguri remained that of Maiduguri. Of course. But what did Koolu do when he met with Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK? Now you have to watch it. It's kind of like a few days back, just last week, where indeed Koolu was in that same incoherent manner, okay? He was almost about to start talking that usual, God knows, the gibberish, right? And Starmer pretty much was like, okay, picture. Then they took him around, and took him to a room, inside a room, with other guys in there, his ministers who are going to be signing those agreements, including now they're going to receive over 1,000 Nigerians who are currently in prison in the UK, who have exhausted all their asylum kind of like chances, as well as those who are criminals who went to jail, they served their jail, and they have to be deported to Nigeria. So they needed Nigeria to issue them passports in that kind of sense, okay? So they will be able to be deported. So he signed that simply because he also gave him a loan of £758 million for 2 port improvements. That is the Lagos, Apapa, the Tinkan and Apapa. And then the other one, that's a Lekki Free Trade Zone. That's a port there that is currently given to Shaguri for the next 40 years. It will be operated by Shaguri. Crazy, right? Sometimes when I look at some of these things, I'm like, if Nigeria was a real country, one of the things that will actually cause a great war than some of you will not understand why, or maybe you would understand why, is how a lot of people are the owners of Nigerian assets. Nigeria will borrow money to build assets like ports, like roads, or even buildings, complexes and all that. And then we borrow money, like spend billions of naira, hundreds of billions, okay? And then they will sell them off like a scrap to their friends. If you are the friends of government, you could just take it and that's yours for another 10, 15 years. And you become, for that next 2 decades, you become one of the Nigeria-made billionaires. It's always been like that for the past 5, 6 decades of the existence of that country. So let's go to London, where Koolu, indeed, after meeting the king, met the prime minister. And I promise you, there wasn't anything concrete all about that meeting, nothing. And they are talking about what the benefit is going to bring to Nigeria. Again, you can sign it, or you can sign on it, right? That it also brings almost zero benefits to Nigerians. But maybe to those guys who are actually going to access the resources on behalf of Nigeria. Yeah, Koolu with Stammer.
President, Arise Nigeria, are you optimistic for your meeting today with the Prime Minister? What's top on your agenda?
Prime Minister, what will you do to help with rising petrol prices? Prime Minister, are you going to pledge to rejoin the EU? Prime Minister, are you going to U-turn on your migration plans? Prime Minister, will you disclose if you spoke with Peter Mandelson before his appointment?
Mr. President, will you be talking to the Prime Minister about Nigeria's security situation?
We need to nurture the trade agreement, stimulate more economic relationship that will build out two nations. And Nigeria is currently going through a very strong reform of the economy. And other than the volatility that we are, well, we will discuss that further in our bilateral discussions. What we are facing is not a small challenge. Currently, the entire world is challenged. And Nigeria is not immune. So is Britain, is not immune. I've seen your reaction on television, just watching things as they develop. My concern is, as you rightly said, the economic and the welfare of the people, and how we should work together to improve the livelihood, means of mitigating the economic volatility that is coming. And currently we are challenged in being the largest city in the West Africa, country in the West African region, and on the continent. We are challenged by terrorism and it comes from the Zaire and the conflict of climate change and all of that. We will be able to discuss it in a bilateral relationship and see what Britain can do to accelerate in friendship, partnership, and in collaboration.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Minister.
Hello. Yes, you had a very successful day on Monday. Yeah. Welcome you again to Downing Street. Extend the welcome to the entire delegation. It's really fantastic for people-to-people engagement we've had, which was summed up by yourself last night in the speeches. Pleasure and privilege to be able to bring to you. Wish you well. Celebrate the state and everything we are has been really welcomed and treated as part of who we are as a country. So you're very welcome. UK export finance deal, which I think you're going to sign at Lancaster House later on today, which is fantastic. We've got the memorandum of further what we can do on the economy. Told that the trade dialogue, Member of Parliament for Coventry, Northwest, and I think that Coventry, I think, have expanded into Nigeria as well. So, Mr. President Taiwo, one of our leading members of Parliament.
Pleasure to meet you today. We're opening a new campus in Nigeria.
We are a poor nation. The ban coal will follow. They say firewood not full. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, shine it, and tell the West, if you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. They'll do it.
They'll do it. Koolu knows. So right now, Koolu went to Stama and started talking about this Sahel. The climate change at the Sahel. That's your president there with his own colonial master, the representative of the colonial master, they will say. Anyway, the conversation went well. Okay, UK got all they wanted, and Tinubu also got what he wanted. Royal, pageantry, royal reception, and all of that. They called it historic. His own son came to the UK with God knows how many tens or hundreds of thousands of pounds that they brought into the UK because of that visit, right? To the point that they were able to mobilize enough Nigerians who were not all of them were ashamed of singing the On Your Mandate all the way from London. He hosted them to a dinner, a sumptuous dinner, like an evening with sumptuous meal. That a lot of them started telling Sheyi what the people are saying about his father and why the City Boy movement needed this international headquarters in London, and they achieved it with the level of, or with the number of attendants, the number of people that came to listen to Sheyi. I am going to share that with you. They are all back in Nigeria now. When Tinubu came to that royal stuff, right, they almost emptied the entire asshole rock. Okay, they went as far as bringing, artists, thugs, name it, all of them in London for 4 good days. There were those before that who actually spent more than that days. Okay, but Sheyi and the Abrodian Ronukus, the London Ronu Nazis, £50 per person.
The slogan we use with our group, which is
we start by saying, relax, and you respond, Tinubu is fixing Nigeria. Relax.
Tinubu is fixing Nigeria.
Relax.
Tinubu is fixing Nigeria.
Tinubu is fixing Nigeria. For those people who do not know me here, my name is Bobby Michaels. I'm an actor and filmmaker from the Nollywood industry. For the past 6 years, I've worked with the great state of Imo State. I've worked with the governor there as the special advisor on entertainment. And I'll say one thing. I am here speaking to you out of passion. I have a lot of passion for the great president of Nigeria, who today remains one of the greatest names to ever have run the country, Nigeria. Nigeria is a very complicated place, I'll tell you that. Complicated because we have different people, different ideas, different understanding, and different ways of life. But we have a man who has put all of this together and is making Nigeria proud again. I'll tell you one thing. I speak to you as a Lagosian. I was born in Lagos. I saw, when I first came back to Nigeria, I came back to Nigeria at the time when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State. And I saw the transformative things that he did there. The Lagos I left, when I left Nigeria, was different from the one I met. And that is why today, I will tell you that if you are here in this room, please, I want you to continue to have passion for Nigeria, passion for the president. Please, the president is the best thing, the greatest thing that's happened to Nigeria as a country. I do not care what the media or whoever, or the naysayers say, or the people who are there trying to downgrade Nigeria. I don't care about that. My group, Relax, Tinubu is fixing Nigeria. Our job is informative, basically informative. At the moment, we have a book which is coming out very soon, which will show you 301 of the achievements of our great president. This president is not sleeping. This president has never slept. This president is working tirelessly for the great state of Nigeria. I want you all to continue to believe in him, to continue to put out your strength, put out everything that you have to support the man, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the great Jagaban of Nigeria. That's it. Support him, believe in him, and I can tell you by God's divine grace, Nigeria will get there. Amen. God bless you all.
One last, please.
And on behalf of myself and my association organization, as a proud daughter of Ibadan and a lover of academics who firmly believes in education and the empowerment of students, I take a moment to appreciate our dedicated teachers and lecturers who continue to shape the future of our great nation, Nigeria. Today, I particularly want to appreciate President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Barrister Sheyi for taking steps by this administration, demonstrating a clear commitment to strengthening our higher institutions and encouraging lecturers through improved remunerations. It is important to note that students who gain admission into 100 level at the University of Ibadan in August 2023 are now progressing steadily towards completing their academic program as scheduled. There's no more strike in the university. I think we should also acknowledge all the good work under the President Bola Ahmed. And while I understand that we all have questions and we all feel some type of way, but we can also appreciate and acknowledge the good thing is, the government have done for us all. And having said that, these students recognize the positive impact of your policies on their academic journey and future. I was fortunate to receive a qualification in the United Kingdom myself as a solicitor, and this brought me an experience that I wish that other people, children, youth, we have access to. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have created that under his government of 4 years.
Thank you.
We hope he will continue to do that. And as you will agree with me, Vice President Tinubu, I understand that you appreciate education, you're well educated, you're a barrister yourself, and you have a youth empowerment that you do encourage youth to go to school. I want to encourage you to please do more. I would like to partnership with you because I appreciate education, and I know that education is actually the ladder of anti-poverty. And when we speak of poverty, without education, how do we eradicate poverty in Nigeria? This is something that we cannot hide from, but I think collectively, and when we are united, we are able to achieve more in education for our future and our children.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
With regards to structure, there is actually a national structure that is being in place, including national government as well, that is going to trickle down to every single state and every single country that is represented by an individual. So to answer your question, I think by the end of this month, the entire structure will be replaced. With regards to diversity, I trust me, I'm a strong believer of handling diversity.
Good afternoon. Thank you for all your support. Did I tell you that I finally got the property? I finally got the property. The one that you guys came for with Dr. Nede Woko. The summit of he inspired me.
Like I said, they had the whole hall filled almost to the brim. At a point, they took some of them outside somewhere, all right, to come and at least sing on the mandate and the launch of the City Boys in London, right? But in Nigeria, they are packaging, what do you call it, the Ramadan package, Tinubu's food, proudly sponsored and financed by Tinubu. So here, in London, that said last week, launching the City Boys of London. Okay, here.
Tila, you don't go. Nah, 4 years, my brother. If you are not in Kizas, no shout to. No shout to. But when I fish, you carry for her, so once you drop, I don't go.
All the way from London. So some said that they gave them £500, and I'm like, no, I don't think so. So yeah, they actually enveloped the money, £500 each. It's like, really? Okay. So the Londoners probably would have a lot of electoral values that they have to come here and pay people. Maybe they will actually pay some of you to return to Nigeria to also vote for Koolu. On the same street of London, this encounter also ensued between concerned Nigerian versus an average Ronuku in London. I don't know if you have seen this video. Okay.
He came over.
Tinubu?
Yes.
Well done. And your son, this is your son, I take it?
Yes.
You look for him to be a man like Tinubu?
That's
you would like your children to have the characteristics of Tinubu?
That's personal.
No, it's not. You would like your leader, it's nothing to do with respect.
I respect
I'm
your
asking you
campaign.
a simple question.
No,
we're
not campaigning.
Would you like...
No, we're not campaigning.
That word is not right. We're not campaigning.
Because he's recording, I'm going to record you as well.
Okay, go ahead, record.
Can you talk me through the names of these people, and tell me what they've done? Yeah, go on.
The butcher, as he's called.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes?
Yeah.
Chief of Army Staff at the time of the murder.
Yeah.
And the reason why we say who gave the orders, this is the question. If there is any army movement in a country, the only person who can give those orders is Chief of Army Staff. The only person who can instruct them is the President. This was the President, the usurper before this usurper.
It's like Buhari.
Yeah, Buhari, who's now dead. He died in a London hospital. Yes? He died in a London hospital.
Harley.
From there. Off of Harley Street. We reported from there.
Yeah, he came over.
I could get the order. I like that. Citizen nobody. So that was in London. Back in Nigeria, the story is the same. You want to talk about the economy. People are still grumbling. Now that the war in Iran is affecting the global oil supply, which indeed has also affected the price of the products worldwide. Koolu and his handlers, they have something they can leverage on and claim to be the reasons why Nigerians are going through it economically right now. But they have been going through it anyway. I don't know if any of you will still remember that a liter of petroleum when Tinubu took over power was 160 naira per liter, right? And then today it is like 1,000 or 1,500. God knows where you probably will get yours cheaper. However, if you now calculate how much Boko Haram paid on subsidy in that 8 years of his murderous regime, right? And then compared to how much Nigeria borrowed by this Koolu in the last 3 years, let's kind of like say 3 years, then you realize that you've been scammed. The whole country has been scammed, and these scammers, they are not backing down. Let's see that of the security. It keeps getting worse. I mean, they have done so well to make sure that the media houses are not so detailed about the killings going on in Nigeria. Because every report of every killing or attacks by these terrorists is considered as like a damage to Tinubu, because they want to look shiny. They want to look more or less like the only legitimate people to tell you how Nigerians are dying and how you should react to Nigerians being killed. Oloye Sunday Woro, the one that recently joined their APC, and started threatening people who chooses not to support Tinubu second term, he is alive. And it is kind of like so sad that when Boko Haram was your president, the threat of what the Fulani terrorists could do to us prompted millions of Yorubas worldwide to raise alarm, and not just that, mobilize and sensitize our people in order to see how much we can defend ourselves. And we all knew where Boko Haram stood. It was on the side of the terrorists, and therefore it was kind of like valid for an average Yoruba person to revoke Boko Haram at the time and reject APC in its entirety. But the politics of Tinubu wanting to be the president of Nigeria divided Yorubas to the point that those who were on the side of Tinubu wanted the then Sunday Igbo, who is now pretty much like a Sunday Ehoro or Sunday Agbado. You understand? Those who were on the side of Tinubu at the time frowned at what Sunday Ehoro was doing, fighting or going after the terrorists at the time. They wanted him killed. 3 years after, he is the one who is now threatening the Yorubas, who dare say is they don't want Tinubu. And that has generated a lot of reactions everywhere anyway. So in Kwara State, Woro is a place where we reported the mass kidnapping of people, even from the church during church service. And we have also witnessed how many communities that have become so displaced. Those ones who are unlucky who have been killed, and those who are lucky enough to be alive, to be displaced and become part of the internally displaced Yorubas. Kwara State. It is also reported that just about a day or so ago, these same terrorists who planted their IED in some of these communities they've marked for their execution of terrorism, right? Ended up having the casualties who are the civilians. It was reported that because that is how Boko Haram operates. They plant their IED everywhere, ransack villages, kill as much as possible that they want to kill, wait for the military to try to want to challenge them, and at the same time turn the entire place into a war zone, which indeed is what just happened in Kwara. So I'm going to take you to Kwara. I can show you the graphic images and all of that of the victims of this recent bomb or IED blast. Okay, but here is a kind of like a press conference given by the families of the recent victims of these mass kidnappings in Kwara State.
Yes, sir. My name is Omale Sunday Timothy.
What's the position in the church?
I'm the minister in charge of the church.
We heard about the unfortunate incident that happened yesterday. So how did it affect you directly, sir?
I'm the pastor in charge of the church. So I was leading the program when we were alerted by one of the members that saw them coming towards the church premises. They have entered the church premises. They are coming towards the church building. So immediately that we were alerted, I told all the members that we should run, and everybody scattered from the church. I went through the back door and I jumped the fence and I entered the bush with some members. Other members hid in the choir rooms and pastor's office. We thank God that they were unable to enter those places.
We were told your wife was among the people kidnapped.
Yes, she was among the 11 people that was kidnapped before they released 3 people, a child and 2 elderly women.
Okay, a child and 2 elderly women.
Yes.
So it was not that, it's actually that they were rescued?
No, they were not rescued because those women were held and they were unable to move with the way they were treating them. So they thought they were going to delay them, so they abandoned them.
So how are you able to manage the trauma?
Immediately that I ran to the next community, which is Ola. I was able to call Orago that we are in need of soldiers, that kidnappers has entered Omogo. Then other people also made calls, especially from the CAC, the minister in charge of CAC, also called Orago, and that was how the vigilantes and the soldiers were able to came to our rescue.
Since so far, has there been any communication between you and?
We have not heard anything from you.
So how will your kid feel that they did not see their mom since yesterday, and you particularly did not see your wife beside you? How will you
Since yesterday, I have not been able to get myself together. Sincerely speaking, my kids are just crying, all of them. So we have been pleading to them that their mom will be coming back by His grace. And personally, I am seriously disturbed. I've not been able to sleep, nor do anything, or put myself together because she's even not health-wise okay for the situation that she'll be experiencing now.
So you as a pastor now, what do you have to tell the government to do?
Sincerely, I'm pleading with the government that these situations is beyond our power, because 8 members were in their custody right away, and the church cannot bear the consequence, and even the whole community, put all Oroago together, cannot bear the consequence of this kidnapping. So there's a need for the government to come to our rescue, sending down the force men to come and assist, and also to assist in the negotiation, because we don't know what to do with this situation.
Okay, has the matter been escalated to ECWA headquarters?
Yes, it has been escalated. Yesterday, Commissioner of Police also came. He came yesterday with his entourage to come and look at the situation on ground.
Yes, sir.
My name is Omale.
People's reality. While some people are jumping from one venue to the other, calling themselves city boys because the country is getting better, relax, Tinubu is fixing the country, mantra, and that's blues. Nigerians' reality is what you just watched. That is many's reality in so many places. Community, or these communities called Luma-Babana-Agwara, all of these in the Borgu local government area of Niger State. Okay, they've had their link bridge bombed by the terrorists, who, according to reports, they did that in order to cut off the advancement of the Nigerian army, who have been populating the area and going after the terrorists in this fight of fight in the last few days. So to reduce the influx, the terrorists decided to bomb the link bridge to this community. This one happened today.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Ga dai hanyar gohanci nan gada ya kare wallahi. Kin gandu na tsakiya wallahi. Gada ya kare wallahi. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Inna lillahi raji'un. Ba ta hada da mota ba. Ga munan dai cikin gandun gohanci yanzu ga yau Lahadi sallah da kwana 3. Wallahi ga nan gada ya kare gaba daya wallahi ni tsakiyar gandu wallahi. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Ga munan mun zo za mu wuce babu hanya wallahi. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Mu je jalu. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Wallahi gada ya kare. Jama'a ku duba ku gani. A taimaka mu je. Wallahi babu. A taimaka. A duba. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un.
It was the same IED that they planted in the Woro community, Woro forest and all that, that the entire area is kind of like a landmine by terrorists, waiting for the supposed Nigerian authority to come fight them. And that is what blasted today, that got many people killed and others injured. So from those who survived, this video made it to the internet. Yeah, that's for those who survived the blast in Woro, and it is also in Kwara State. But in Lagos, that was on the EID Fitri's day. So Koolu, who was addressing the media, continued to reassure people that everything is fine, and for where they are not really that fine, it's going to always be fine, because Nigeria is out of the worst, usually. It's boring.
And we should also pray for our country and wish each one of us well. Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Eid Mubarak, Your Excellency.
Eid Mubarak.
Well, the message has been, as we started, we give thanks to God for guiding us through the month of Ramadan. We accepted the principles, the philosophy, the doctrine of give, peace, security, and love of a nation, of neighbors, and kindness to all humanity in any way we can, giving assistance to the needy and helping the vulnerable. That is the teaching. The sacrifices that you've made, may God accept it. Is the question that we must continue, not because of the Ramadan has come and is over. We thank Almighty God for giving us that month. But the teaching must continue even after Ramadan. We must continue to be of our brother's keeper good behavior, good neighbors, love to humanity, and kindness to all of us. And pray for peace in our country. The stability of peace and security of the nation is not just one man's responsibility. We all are involved. Information, suspicious information, movements of people across the length and breadth of this country is our responsibility. We must give information. We must respect the rule of law.
Thank you. Just returned from the United Kingdom,
yeah.
And the King of England actually hosted you to iftar. What does this say about religious tolerance, and what do you think we should take home from that?
No, that is a very, very unique opportunity. Us being a very good example of the diversity in our society, being able to accept one another as our brothers keeper, tolerance among all faiths. The fact that we worship the same God means that our style might be different. I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of my workers will tell me, this one say this one. If I'm tired, I say, please. Forget it.
And of course, so everybody should know, like Boko Haram put it, fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning. Remember that time?
Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning. Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning.
So what wahala happened in Abuja today when the industrial court ruled in favor of Tajuddin Barua as the authentic chairman of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW in Nigeria. So Barua decided to go and effect the court's judgment by taking over the office currently being occupied by MC Olueron. MC Olueron, who has the backing of Tinubu, his own godfather in Abuja, has been pretty much like beating the courts for a while. He's been choosing which of the court judgments he's going to obey or which one not to obey, just like his own godfather, Koolu. So Barua decided to implement a court judgment. MC Olueron decided to call Jizu, who in return ordered the arrest of Barua. So Barua has been arrested and is now being charged to court for trying to execute a court judgment. Have you heard that before? Let me say it again. Barua and MC Olueron, they are fighting for who is the authentic chairman of, national chairman of NURTW, the transport union of the country. So Barua said his own term is yet to lapse. MC Olueron said no, it's kind of his own turn. So they've been fighting that in court. So today, the industrial court, which is the court allowed to rule on this kind of industrial related matter, now ruled that Barua is the real chairman and should take office. So Barua did not probably wait for police or anything. He just went straight to the headquarters of the union. They took over the office, his own supporters and all of that, vandalized some of the stuffs that belong to MC Olueron. While they were at it, the police IG mobilized policemen to go and arrest the vandals or the invaders. So few hours after that, the Nigerian police then charged Barua to court for a crime of trying to execute court judgments without police permission. I swear, that's the charges. Imagine being arrested for trying to implement court judgments in Nigeria. But the drama, it all started like this.
Come and drive inside. Eh? What do you call where we come back? Àwọn olè wọ̀nyí ni wọ́n ti jí gbogbo ẹrù gbogbo bátìrì tẹlifíṣàn laptop AC ẹ̀wọ̀ ilé ti gbé AC yọ AC o wọ́n kó mọ́tò dúdú inú mọ́tò dúdú iná ń kó sí inú mọ́tò dúdú iná ń kó sí gbogbo ẹrù yẹn inú mọ́tò dúdú iná ń kó sí mo ti mú nọ́mbà mọ́tò yẹn.
They are all together.
No, yes, you can. Come enter here.
What did they carry for that place? Come on, drop that thing. Drop it. Drop it.
Hey! What's the reason there?
Come here. Come here.
No fire.
I'm not leaving you alone.
Go like this. Run now. Run. Sorry. Run. Come outside here. Where?
I have a copy of the judgment, the original one.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Yes, let me see that. Very good, anybody do it.
They were looting the offices just before the police came. So MC Olueron on my right, on your screen is going to probably be on the right or the left. And then Barua. So Barua was later arrested. And before they actually put him in that car, right, he had this to say.
We are here today. Yes. We can see that we don't hold anything like cutlass. Yes. John, we don't need this. Yes. Because we are critical trade unionists. Yes. We are coming here to resume to the office. Yes. It's almost 2 years. We have been went to the court. We take them to appeal court. We take them to the lower court. We want them in lower court. They take us to appeal court. We want them again. Then we now go after almost a year that we want to appeal court. They don't respect the law. They say that they are above the law. I wish I know nobody above the law. Then we now went back again to the another court again to interpretation of this judgment for us. That's because we got judgment. People are adamant to vacate the office, and we don't want to take law by hand. But you know what is meaning trade unionists? We maintain the peace. They wound 3 people. Then we saw Alaye with gun, run with gun and machete. So Alaye is one who machete that man from here. So it's unfortunate that we have took that man, we have taken that man to court. We have taken that man to hospital. So that's only resistance that we have today. That's the challenge we have today. But there's a room for reconciliation. In any crisis, in anything like this, they will be that. The office is ready. We open door for everybody for reconciliation. We are not a troublemaker. Since almost 2 years plus, we don't do anything. But we see that why somebody say we're above the law. So they don't above the law. That's why we came here today and thank you very much.
The president has said it all. All that I want to add is that he is a man of the people. The only thing is nobody is going to be left behind. His administration is an inclusive administration. And even in a family.
We are here today. Yes. We can see that we don't hold any.
Unfortunately, he couldn't effect the judgment, unfortunately. So he's been arrested, and MC Olueron continues to be the chairman of the NURTW. But let's leave that and go to the opposition, who are trying to make themselves the alternatives to APC, Egbekegbe, in 2027. A lot is happening almost at the same time. You sometimes may not even be able to catch up, like you struggle to catch up. The PDP's demise, which ordinarily is not surprising, as far as Wiki and his camp have now taken over the full control of the PDP after the court judgments that granted them that. So to Wiki, there is nothing holding them back. If you are still in PDP, you had better come and take a name, bend the name, and kiss the ring of Emperor Wiki. Don't start a fight that you can't finish. His own strange friend, former friend in the G-string group, Soloma Kide-Ibadan, was a guest of Bala Muhammad in Bauchi. That one from Bauchi. And mind you, Bala has denied his plan or the rumor of him joining the APC since the court has given the PDP to Wiki. is denying it. And in fact, he's kind of saying that they are still in PDP. And Luma-Babana-Agwara too. Luma-Babana-Agwara Ibadan, who once told us that all these things that Wike is doing for Tinubu, that it was there when he actually pledged to ensure that he holds PDP down for Tinubu by 2027. Then they can start rebuilding the party again by 2031. Meanwhile, Luma-Babana-Agwara Ibadan also kind of like have interest to become president in 2027 under PDP. But with Wike in charge, that dream is as good as dead. And it's not just that. It seems that as long as Luma-Babana-Agwara Ibadan failed to leave PDP, all the political ambition of those around him, all of the ambitions are dead too. And we don't think it's that way. So they all met, including the NDC guys. Remember that Seriake Dixon, former Bayelsa governor, is a Bayelsa senator as well, who recently also left PDP for a party called NDC or something. They were all there. And let's start with Makinde. Oh, yeah, let's start with Makinde, and then we'll come back to Bala Muhammad.
Your Excellency, I don't know David. I report for the Nation newspaper here in Bauchi. Yeah, my question is very direct. Recently, the former governor of Abia State, Governor Okeze Ikpeazu, he said reconciliation is not an option in the PDP. And Ikpeazu is with the Wike's faction. So I want to know, the leaders of the party now, they are pursuing reconciliation, the likes of former Senate President Saraki, and then Ikpeazu is saying reconciliation is not an option. So what exactly the reconciliation means in practical terms? Is it that the party is trying to surrender to Wike's faction?
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. I think the rep of the Nation. Okay, good. I hope your newspaper will report this as we're saying it and not bend anything. I came in the public domain to say that I was in a meeting with Wike and Mr. President, and he promised to hold PDP for Mr. President towards 2027. So, anyone dealing with Wike and his group, in any guise, what it means is you have also agreed to support President Tinubu for 2027. We'll leave it for Nigerians to judge. If you can be in their camp where they've promised that they are supporting the president, we're not begrudging them. You can support whoever you like to support, but go to them if you want to support them. So that is our position. They have the government behind them. They have the judiciary behind them. They have INEC behind them, but we have the people behind us. Thank you.
In addition, reconciliation is not something that we have called for. It is something that is being midwifed as a solution by a competent court of jurisdiction, that is the Federal High Court, Federal Court of Appeal. So we are law-abiding and we believe in the rule of law. And so that opinion by my brother is his opinion, but certainly we believe that there is no irreconcilable issues in Nigeria, especially in the political or national space. One question again.
So they are saying they want reconciliation, that PDP will try and reconcile and all of that, fix all their problems, while the Wike side are saying, no, there's nothing like reconciliation. No. Reconcile what? No reconciliation. You come back here, you will bend the knee, and then you will kiss the ring. You have gone astray. You were there when I made this promise, and you know why. So until we all delivered, or you just fall out, kind of. And Wiki already said he is very much interested in destroying Solo Makinde's political career. He said it, that he's interested in Oyo State. So who are those who are going to be given the ticket of the party in Oyo State will be decided by Wiki, as long as PDP is concerned. Some are saying that Wiki will eventually leave PDP for APC, after 2027. Well, maybe not. But to Bala Muhammad, it seemed that the door to join the APC is shut. He can no longer join them anymore. So he categorically denied any move or effort to join in APC.
There had been rumors that I had joined the APC. I have not joined anywhere. We are where we are, but certainly we have problems with our party, and the problems are not insurmountable. We wish every political party well. Politics is dynamic, we can be anywhere, but certainly we will not be stupid. We must be very strategic. Of course, in terms of governance, I call on the civil servants and other government officials to please manage resources wisely. Our agenda or policy is using small resources to do much. We have seen the infrastructural delivery and service delivery in education and health. We want to continue. We are still going on for projects and programs. And of course, the labor must have integrity. That is, we must pay salaries as and when due. And I made a promise that, inshallah, before I exit power or office, we will pay gratuities and pension that we inherited.
When a thief is preaching honesty and responsibility, you know that the world is like upside down, you know. He is under investigation for looting over 100 billion naira as governor of Bauchi. One of the compromise they have on him, that they have been asking him that he better join the APC and be forgiven. He said that his own son was arrested since his son doesn't have immunity. So his son was arrested under current, I think under prosecution right now. Opposition. So with a Wiki, don't listen to them. PDP is the only opposition to Tinubu in 2027. And they are ready for business. They are ready to choose the candidates of the party. Remember I told you, I actually wanted to put a wager on that and say maybe by the time you get to May, in under 2 months, you are likely going to see one random person being chosen as a PDP presidential candidate. And then that person, like other mushroom parties in Nigeria, they are going to endorse Tinubu. For the first time, the former ruling party is likely going to now publicly endorse Tinubu for second term, because we can need that as a medal, kind of. Okay? So, his own National Working Committee of PDP, minus Bala and Sheyi.
National Working Committee. I'm happy to acknowledge the presence of one of our founding mothers, who is today in meeting with us, and our killer. Special recognition to you. Welcome back. This is our foundation member. How is it to be in a journey for tickets and your sales journey? Ambassador, good to see you, especially.
the ones who are going to organize the national convention of their party. It is the national convention of the party that will then organize the national convention, which is to choose the party candidates across the country. Something that gives Wike this unimaginable power. You have no idea. Everybody, including House of Assembly, everyone, every group that wants to get something from PDP of Wike now will go through Wike. And that in that way, yeah, they can do something that will later look like a natural selection, okay? Where they are only just there to fulfill the constitutional role, to say they participated. They are not made, they are not going to be kind of declared winner of anything per se. Yeah, because we're a Wike, and in the other word, right, Tinubu now holds the string purse of anything that a PDP might want to attend in 2027. Yes, the money will come from Wike, and whatever comes from Wike comes from Koolu. So you know how that works, Abi? So Wike is telling all of them that if they want to know, they should know. If you know that I control the judiciary, we control this and that, then why are you going to court to fight us? That is my own interpretation of what it's just going to tell you now. Watch this.
Unfortunately, I was watching my friend before. When he went to marriage, he said that I didn't win a very license, so fortunate. He said we have problems with the judiciary, so fortunate. We also have the judiciary of Lebanon. And us, as my team, that's the judiciary, so fortunate. A fight cannot fight. Politics is not a part of share. They do different things. I didn't want to live in power. I wanted to have power. You wanted money. You had control over $1 million. I still there. This is my own time. Stay as a contractor. Contract and politics are not the same. You can see the difference now. Being a contractor in share does not make you to be a politician. There are two different. You're not wondering. Now it is a national democratic of all parties. Of all parties. We are the ones that gave you everything. Today you became the governor. Today you are known. You said because of money we stop everybody. I will say no. The right thing must be done. I'm sure most of you were misled because of money. You know, it's a governor. It's a friend of governor. No, it's a friend. Now, when I say that, the business of politics is not because of them, but that I will share them. Totally different thing. Leave those who know the politics to play. You are the people who want to share. And $1 or $2 billion, leave us here. Let us continue with our job. This is our job. If you don't have to pay it, if you're not ready to pay, go and we are ready. We are ready to have serious nights. They are telling the ones that get our territory very jealously. So just want to make that clear. No blackmail will change us. No blackmail. I said what I said is not easy. I'm not the one who say what to do. I said that in the I don't do that.
That is the power of Wike, the emperor of Abuja, and the guy who possibly sees himself as the de facto, president. Anyway, alignment, realignment, they call it alignment and realignment in politics. In 2022, Kwakwansop called Peter Obi Andrew liver salt. It is this Andrew liver salt that once you pour it into a glass of water, it makes so much bubbles, then it goes down, only for him to become the real Andrew liver salt. But today, it seems that an alliance or realignment is in the offing or in the horizon. Since Peter Obi, like Solomon Kinde, Peter Obi also visited the Kwakwansop, and right now, most of the obedient who used to say
election when they come so now, do you know Kwakwaso?
Who
Kwakwaso?
Who be pastor?
You know the Kwakwaso?
Kwakwaso na my papa, be na my brother.
Okay. Election.
Now they are about to find out who is a Kwakwansop. So Peter Obi, who has been like a touring, it was in Katsina, it was in Kaduna, and then Kano, the three Kadeshian states where he toured in the last few days. But to that of the Kano, this is what happened. That was so noisy that you could barely hear a thing in it saying there, right? But yeah, because we're all about Kwakwaso, Obi, Kwakwaso, Obi, Kwakwaso, something that is now, kind of like gearing people's conversation around the peer tickets of Obi and Kwakwaso in their 2027 charade. So here, the same Kwakwasias, this is what they actually say behind, or in that background, that noise. Meanwhile, Kaduna Littlefinger, the El-Rufai of Kaduna, has been in detention now for almost a whole month. Remember, the ICPC is said to have accused him of wiretapping. This is crazy, okay? So give me a sec. Let me take him off the screen. The Kaduna Littlefinger said or raised an alarm where he told us of importation of certain chemicals by the office of Ribadon, the National Security Advisor to Tinubu. El-Rufai said this chemical is colorless, odorless, and can take out life in like a few hours, that they will never even suspect what happened. And he also said that they have been listening to their calls, which means the conversation of those in government, which was later interpreted to wiretapping the government officials. So then DSS invited, no, it wasn't DSS, EFCC invited him. When he got released from the EFCC, DSS arrested him. And the reason for the arrest was because of that spying on the National Security Advisor. Then they didn't take him to the office. They took him straight to the ICPC. Somehow, it is the ICPC who has been keeping him and holding him, to the point that the DSS, who charged him to court for spying on the NSA, on the day of the court appearance, they couldn't produce El-Rufai because the ICPC is yet to release him to them. And the ICPC themselves, they also put out a statement where they are now telling us that they are charging El-Rufai to court tomorrow in Kaduna. Okay? And this is their statement. Okay, they said to set to arraign the former governor and one Joel Adoga male at the Federal High Court of Nigeria in Kaduna Judicial Division on Tuesday, the 24th of March, 2026. So the charge is similarly another charge number the blah against El-Rufai and one Ahmadu Sule has also been filed before the Kaduna State High Court in Kaduna Judicial Division. The charges in the State High Court case range from abuse of office, fraud, and intent to commit fraud to conferring undue advantage, among others. Both charges were filed by the ICPC on the 18th of March, 2026, and which is like about 6 or so days ago. There is no charges on the spy stuff somehow, which according to the DSS, okay, he is being held by the SPC for that. So they just took him out of circulation. And just like that, it is more or less like whatever El-Rufai had in mind to probably go public and declare war on Ribadum and all that. I don't know if it is working, right? Meanwhile, his counterpart, Malamu, the Abubakar Malamu, he was in detention. In fact, he was in prison for about 3 months until recently when he got released on bail. He is being charged too for sponsoring terrorism, aiding and abetting terrorism, as well as shielding people who have been fingered to be involved in terror funding. He's been shielded them using his office. Then self-enrichment, where he also looted a lot of money. He's also standing trial with the EFCC. And in fact, it was the EFCC who jailed or put him in jail pending the determination of his case. And then he got a bail. Today, the same EFCC invaded this house in Abuja, maybe looking for evidence. All right. This encounter ensued.
You want to break the camera, break it. Show me why I don't get it that you come over my why are you allowed by the court order after the grant of this order to come over and take my property? External operators, when the matter is pending before the court, can you operate extraordinary right? And this is the right you are exercising here. Once the property is under is it under provision when an order has elapsed? Order granted for provision has elapsed, and then you are coming to embarrass today early in the morning. You are in my other house, and then you are here. Where is the order that gave you the permission to come over to my property and mark them? It's the order I want to do. This is the order I gave the order. Show me where it is stated that you should come over to my property. This is the order. And there is anything what imputed you that you don't give this platform. I am telling you. Please, don't do it. Where is the order? The order here is not specific, giving you clear directives to come and mark my property. And then this matter is pending in court. Where is the order from the court that gave you permission? Are you coming here to embarrass me unnecessarily? Because I am in court with EFCC, so you are embarking on a position now to move nationwide and embarrass me? Then what is it? What is it about? Where is the order? Without an existing court order, when a matter is pending in court, you are coming all over my properties to embarrass me. That's the way it is done. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, we meet in court. I have to yeah, good. Let them go ahead and then we meet in court. Right here. I told me when I am my position, go ahead.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
See? Power, they say, is transient, which simply means that you don't hold it forever, right? Malamu is so famous for rejecting court judgments, court orders, and choosing which of them they would obey or honor. Okay? When Omoyele Sowore was hounded by this madman, using the police as well as the courts, there are different, but yet, most of the judgments in favor of this same Omoyele Sowore against this same Malamu were never honored, ever. Malamu, who supervised the first trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when they kidnapped him from his hotel in Lagos when he visited Nigeria. He said he brought in weapons of mass destruction. He brought this, and that. Meanwhile, he went to Nigeria. It is a laptop, internet dongle, microphone, as well as, a Sony camera. And that is what they call the weapon of mass destruction. They went to court in Nigeria, put Nnamdi Kanu on trial for God knows what he cooked up then as the Minister of Injustice of that contraption. They were defeated in their courts. Yeah, they were. Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted by their own appeal court in Nigeria. And Malamu, using his office, his power then, denied the execution of that judgment. He denied it. And they had to delay that for a whole year before he went to the Supreme Court to ask the Supreme Court to help them, continue to try Nnamdi Kanu. This madman today is facing similar thing that, you don't actually know how to react to it. Injustice to one is injustice to all. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. But he's got friends. The first caller was Atiku. Yeah.
Members of your family. All what has happened to you may happen to any one of us here. What we have come to realize is that there is a deliberate and calculated attempt to force a one-party rule in this country. And we want to assure you that we will stand with you to make sure Nigeria remains a multi-party democracy and that Nigerians have the right to elect a government that they believe will represent them and at the same time also bring about unity and progress in this country. And today, all of us here have decided to pitch our tent with the African Democratic Congress because we believe, as diverse as we are united in one pursuit. One, the unity and the indivisibility of this country. Secondly, promotion and sustenance of democracy, which many Nigerians have fought, and some have even made supreme sacrifices, have lost their lives for the return of democracy in this country. We shall therefore never, ever stand idle and watch this country transform into a one-party rule. We want to assure you that we will continue to support you and the rest who are committed to this philosophy. And we want to assure you also that even though we were not with you in detention, but we were with you in spirit, we were praying. And I think God has answered our prayers today.
His friends were there to give him the moral support. Say, we are here for you. Okay, just know that we are with you in spirit. Because Malamu wants to be the governor of Kebbi State next year. And once he becomes a governor, he's got immunity from prosecution, from anything, I think. And that is his possible saving grace, where for the next 4 years, he could probably build alliances again with Koolu, if Koolu is still your president. And yeah, this whole thing, this whole drama will just be in the past. They will be friends again. Because to them, it's a game. Still enough. And buy as many people as possible and see if you can possibly save power for yourself or grab power for yourself. It's either you make it or die trying, kind of, for them. And they have the field, they have the land where a lot of other people have become so impoverished. There are characters like this who are supposed to be, probably, if it was in China, a character like this would be in the history book by now. down for the punishment of their own crimes against Nigerians. Yeah, it is Nigeria. They always have this rebirth. They can have this rebirth that they get them to repackaged, sort of. Yeah. So he was more interested in why the EFCC have to come to his house. Right? Is it because they wanted to embarrass him? They want Nigerians to see him as the way we just saw him? So Sheun Okinbaloye will be on hand to give him a bit of image laundering by inviting him to ask his usual funding questions. Here is Malamu on channels this evening.
They were personnel that were fully kitted, fully armed, and very intimidating and harassing my immediate family members to the effect that they came to serve letters of invitation. So letters were eventually served, not only in respect of the house where they found me, but then my other multiple houses and business premises were all embedded today, being the 23rd day of March 2026, by personnel that claim to have come in from EFCC. I find that attitude very amazing and very, perhaps, I found it very amazing. Amazing in the sense that, to my knowledge, indeed there was an order of the court dated 6 January 2026 for interim forfeiture of my properties. But the implication of that order that was granted was that it was an order in respect of which my person was given an opportunity of 14 days within which to respond. Now the issue is we have responded, we joined issues before the court, and filed an application for such order to be set aside. Well, the fact that insinuations associated with the unfolding drama honestly points to a clear direction of political motivation. Even as of today, as you rightly know, a lot of people are coming around to show their solidarity arising from the fact that they were of the view and opinion that the undertones associated with my detention in custody for over 99 days, contrary to what is tolerated constitutionally of 48 hours without being charged to court, were indeed actions that are not only arbitrary, but then that now points to a direction of political intimidation. But the fact that among the people that paid a courtesy visit, a solidarity visit to my house, today, being the 23rd day of March 2026, were the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Wazir Adamawa Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and then the EFCC came over to invade my property, to invade my premises shortly thereafter, points to a clear possible calculation, possible conclusion that the matter, indeed the actions were politically motivated. The right to vote and be voted for is constitutional. I am a Nigerian that is equally entitled to the enjoyment of those privileges. So the idea of a kind of perhaps reconsidering my ambition associated with governorship is not on table as far as discussions is concerned. It's constitutional, and I will certainly exercise my constitutional right over it.
Nuisance Lele.
Abubakar Malamu. It is his constitutional right, even those who are like ex-convicts, criminals, right, in and outside Nigeria have been elected into offices. If you care to know, by the way, they have now removed forgery, education qualifications, forgery. If you forge your own educational, your qualifications and all that, right? If you forge them and submit them to INEC, and your opposition found out that you forged your certificates, it is no longer the ground for disqualification or nullification of election results in Nigeria. That part is recently included in your electoral acts, among many other things. So that in case if some of you started seeing those, you're like, I know this person, I know that one, what kind of certificate is he parading with and all that? They are no longer a crime in your elections. I hope you know that, right? We'll leave it at that. Nigerians are already feeling the heat. They are blaming Iran. One thing people are not saying to you is that Nigeria should be making more money now. Okay? Nigeria's benchmark for the crude oil in 2026 budget that Tinubu signed is $67 per barrel. Since this wahala in Iran, America started, the price of crude oil jumped, and so did the pump price of petroleum and other products associated with it. And of course, the other things followed: transportation, food, and others. Abi? Fine. But the thing they should be telling you as well is how much they have made since this Iran war started. If you projected that a barrel of crude oil was going to be $67 per barrel, and just about 2 months into the year that you just make this projection, a barrel is now going for $100, $110. That kind of makes it easier that you are making a cool $43 extra on each barrel of crude oil. So if that is the case, you can say you are making over, you are making more than 40% of your projected figure, because if they say a liter of petroleum will be 750 naira per liter, because a barrel of crude oil is being sold for $70 per barrel. And you are like, oh, okay, all right, we can do with that. And then suddenly, they said, oh, a liter of petroleum is now going to be 1,400 naira. Why? Well, because a barrel of crude oil is now being sold for $120 per barrel. So because of that, everything is going to go up. I say, okay, right. So who is talking? Say, I'm the minister, I'm working for government. Excuse me, you're working for government and you are explaining to us that we have to bear the burden of this increase. What happened to the increase in revenue that you get as well? That you are practically making over 40% of your projected sort of like budget, so to say. So shouldn't that have some level of, blowback on the people as well, for a government that really cares about you? I know they can easily tell you that everything is what it is now. It's not Tinubu's fault. Have you asked them about the extra money they have made from this Iran war? Have they ever mentioned it? I mean, we can do the math. For example, they just told us that they have increased the everyday pump price of crude oil in Nigeria under Tinubu to 1.8 million barrels a day. The boy that cried wolf. This is the time we are going to find out. Abi? So if you are pumping 1.8 million barrels of crude oil a day, all right, and you projected to sell them at maybe $70 per barrel, okay, and then suddenly you started selling them for $120 per barrel. That's extra $50 on each barrel. And each barrel times 1 million barrel, $50, that is $50 million, Abi. Is it 50 million or 500 million? Oh my God. Anyway, you get the drift, So if you are making that extra every day, in the last 2 months, could they tell you how much they have made in extra? Because they are still borrowing. They are telling you that, well, whatever it is you are facing right now, just bear it, okay? It's not Tinubu's fault. Fine. But what happened to the extra money? This is the kind of thoughts that usually occupy my mind every time I'm trying to logically look into a lot of things about Nigeria, right? And I'm like, but what about this? Something is missing. By now, Nigeria should be declaring extra trillions of naira, which ordinarily should be going into cushioning the effects of whatever is happening in Iran, if to say they indeed care about the people. They can't be making extra money that goes into God knows where, and you are declaring deficit simply because, a situation that is completely out of your control. Not many people actually think it that way, right? Here is Okunu, a Nollywood or Yoruba Nollywood actor, lamenting about the cost of fuel.
Hello, Nigerians. If you care for me, just 1 minute or 2 minutes. Today is 22nd of March 2026. As at earlier now, which is 21st, Petrol is 1,240 naira per litre. Ní èní tó jẹ́ Sunday, ó ti di 1,340 naira per litre. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ṣé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ló yí látàrí àná yẹn sáàárọ̀ yìí? Àbára wa. Àbáwa táwọn wà Nàìjíríà fúnra wa. Àbáwa Nigerians láyé. Ṣé rí olè ló sórí burúkú? Ní táwọn marketers ń dánwò lórí ọ̀rọ̀ epo kékeré kọ́. Ogun jà ní Iraq àti Israel. Àmọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣáwa ò ní crude oil tiwa. Ó ṣe jẹ́ pé epo tiwa gangan ó tún wá wọ́n. Àwọn other countries tó ń lépo tí wọ́n lépo kéré tépo tí wọ́n ò wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwa là ń fìyà jẹra wa. Aláìsí ti kọrin tán. Ó ní àwa ara wa là ń fìyà jẹra wa. Àwa ara wa là ń fìyà jẹra wa. Àwa ara wa là ń fìyà jẹra wa.
I decided to share that clip with you because that mentality is also widespread. I had some guests in my house over the weekend, and one of them was talking about, in fact, all of them were talking about Nigeria and Nigerians and all of that. And they, good enough, they didn't really know much about me. So I was able to just sit back and just listen to them. And then one of them now said, government is not a problem. Tinubu is not really the problem. It is the people. And I was like nudging him on. I said, well, that's true, because the government is the reflection of the people. Okay? So if your government is horrible, then obviously majority of the people are very, very horrible. He agreed with me. Then I wanted him to elaborate further, and I said that the people are to be blamed. He said, Nigerians likes to take advantage of the people. For example, if something just happened, Nigerians can quickly increase the prices of products, all right? And they want people to blame the government for it. I was like, I don't understand. Like, increase the prices of products. Like, it was like, take a look at the petrol products. I was like, oh, okay. Said, overnight, something happened yesterday. You've got your stock, right? You've got your stock, everything is in at a certain price. And then something happened, then they just increased the pump price everywhere. Was it that they bought different products overnight that cost that much that they have to increase everything? I said, yeah. So they just want to make people's life this and that. I was like, okay, here is the thing. If you have a real government, that is not that of cabals and all of that, or these cabals and all that, right? Government will always ensure that they have control over anything called supplies in their country. Food, new, petrol products, new, medical products, new, even drugs, illegal drugs in their country. Governments would always want to lay their hands on the source of the supply. Any of them that they lose their control over, of course, people will take advantage and use it against the country. Well, Nigeria is a place where everything goes, where those in government officials, whose job is to sanction those who takes advantage of people in that sense, are the ones who are probably going to look away the other side, leave the people, and simply because their farms have been greased. See, this systemic rot that has now become a tradition, kind of like a way of life, all right? Somehow continue to, for those who are on the side of the government, they continue to take the responsibility away from government and put it on other people. Okay? That's not how it works. If your government that continue to lie to you, an oil-producing country has no working refinery, it is those in government who are facilitating the the importation of the petroleum products into the country by exporting crude oil. So those who are running that kind of shady business, supported by the system, all right, would never want you to actually exist or live like countries who have crude oil. It's always been like that. The coalition of those in government. Yeah. So if you go round and round and round in circle, when you are ready, you actually put the responsibility before those who should be responsible for it, the government. Right? I don't think anybody in this country will just wake up overnight and just decide to increase the price of fuel without the blessing of the government, who have to deal with the inflation or whatever inflationary effect of that. For Nigeria, now that's too much talk, right? Until everybody puts hands in their pockets and they find that it's empty, they usually won't care about these little things. Indeed. But yeah, there is a guy who refined oil products in Nigeria. A shame that for years, since the APC Egbekegbe came to power, they've succeeded in killing the refineries in Nigeria. And they've given all the reasons why the refineries are not working after many promises and billions of dollars spent in rehabilitating this. So they continue to export crude oil. Now they have a refinery owned by a private person, Dangote. Dangote refinery started battling with the same guys in government who somehow suddenly are unable to give him crude oil because the former government, led by Boko Haram, already used most of this oil allocation. They've used them to collect loans on IOU that automatically makes it impossible for Nigeria to supply their own private refineries in Nigeria with crude oil. So Dangote then have to import crude oil from Texas in America. So they're now using American crude oil. So Dangote refinery is now working on imported American crude oil. Therefore, Nigerians again were denied the opportunity to actually have a direct benefit of their own crude oil because of the greed of your government. So Dangote himself was with the Koolu this afternoon in Lagos, and after it's got this to say. Maybe it's going to say something about the price increase and maybe give you hope. That your government can really give.
Well, I think it has opened ways. Today diplomacy without the economic part of it is not complete. So I believe his own visit will open quite a lot of doors, and you can see the agreement that was signed, for actually improving our infrastructure, especially in the ports and other areas, which is almost 746 million pounds. That's quite a lot. It has not been, it's not that easy dealing with British, getting this kind of money out of them. They too, they are struggling on their own. But I think this to show confidence is not about the money, it's about the confidence in Nigeria. So the moment that they do that, there will be other countries that will follow suit. So it's not the 746 million. We too can do that to any other country and invest. But I think it is something to show an appreciation of Mr. President's, good work, the infrastructure he has been building. This will help and complement. But there will be other countries that will do. Germany will come, so they will line up and start. Well, I think it has.
And all of that will come in to help Koolu. Well, oil is not the only thing that Nigeria is blessed with. You know that, right? But somehow, the crude oil in Nigeria is national assets. All other mineral resources in Nigeria, rare earth mineral resources, seems to have been privatized, not with a dime or a kobo to be paid to the cover of the government. In Zamfara, for example, right? People, I'm talking about tens of thousands of people, wakes up every morning and march straight to different, different illegal mining spots in that state alone, and so across Nigeria, looking for God knows what. I don't know. In fact, they have the capacity. I've seen videos where these illegal miners are not only just digging everywhere. They've dug like a tunnel that you might think it's not as deep as those who are like the miners who mine like miles down the ground, but they manually dug a well, turned it into a tunnel to go after the resource that you and I have no idea of who they are working for, which countries are taking all these resources. We don't know, but we know about crude oil. We don't know about this one. Let me take you to Zamfara, where the illegal miners are using their own ingenious local, tools and resources to dig for God knows what.
Show na deceiver. Now our HK be this so. HK now move there now.
No get mine, no follow.
No follow. I say. Now what we they do be this one and go for ask or say what do you do for a living? How you they take see all this money where we they spend waiting. Now what we they do be this. Show na get. You get mine. Hey yeah, now all be this so. If you don't get mine, don't follow. Karka bimu yaro baya bimu gagare go. Yeah? Okay. Filam. Now all be this. See mining. See how? This is mining, mineral resources. Buzabi that. Okay, filam. See how? See how? See how? Now mining. Now mining be this so. Filam well. See how? Mineral resources. See how? See how? This is mining. This is mineral resources. Yeah. That's a man.
Allah is very.
Amin me.
Abuda mukanda na nema enda fine.
Okay.
Luka senta biyar kawai.
That's it.
Kajara utam, goyang, kajara. Udan jawab itu.
Ini.
Yo kasih kan awak ni.
Ya. Okay. Who tell you say to be a hustler is easy? Yara nuna masu da kyau.
Eh na bosa.
Now all be this oh. Now all be this oh.
Eh.
Yes oh. Now all be this oh.
Eh.
Now all be this. It shock you.
Eh.
It shock you. Now all be this oh.
Kasia. Iki ada kita. Ya sih ya.
Abuda bidiso. See how?
Iki ada sih kita
This is mining. This is Buddha. You see how? You see how?
Kasia. Iki ada sih kita kabakin. Kabakin.
Yeah. So one Nigeria actually means different things to different people. But you can find out. Thank you so much for your time this evening, everyone. Please do take your time to like the broadcast. I am going to see you another time. Okay. So thanks for this one and thanks for this time. And it's going to be a good night from here. Good night.
Thank you. Máyégún làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Máyégún dáyàrí IED number one.
Máyégún làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Máyégún dáyàrí IED number one.
Máyégún ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Máyégún dáyàrí IED number one.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Máyégún dáyàrí IED number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí.
Máyégún dáyàrí IED number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún dáyàrí IED number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí.
Máyégún dáyàrí IED number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún dáyàrí IED number one.
Máyégún dáyàrí pòlítíkò.
Máyégún dáyàrí IED number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún.
Máyégún dáyàrí IED number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Máyégún dáyàrí IED number one.
Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Máyégún dáyàrí IED number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù máyé ń ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.